Welcome back to the Blackout Zone. We are your hosts, David and Ivan, and today we're going to be discussing
Nicki Minaj,
La
Pink
Nicki
Friday,
Minaj.
her mainstream debut, basically. Her album Pink Friday, which is
Yes.
pretty iconic at this point.
Yeah, I think it paved the way for a lot of the current rap girls that are coming out within the last few years.
Yeah, not to say that she wasn't like that she was the first female rapper, but she kind of brought forward the idea that females can be just as talented, like lyricists, as men.
And mainstream, because there was a few female rappers, but not a lot
Yeah.
of them reached the mainstream success that she did.
Right, yeah. Like Lil Kim.
Well, Kim did at her peak, but that was like so many years ago.
Yeah, and it wasn't to the level that like Nicki Minaj, because of her pop influence, like was able to reach a higher stardom, because Lil Kim was more known within the rap community.
Yeah. Well, before we get started, I just want to remind everyone, if we haven't said it already, is that Ivan and I are not in the same room. We're in different states. So we're trying our best here. So if the audio seems kind of awkward as far as interaction between us, it's because of that, but we're trying.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess there's nothing
Well,
to add on my part.
Yeah. Well, I think we can just dive in. Now, I think we have we've recorded a few episodes by this point, and by the time you hear this, we actually recorded one other episode, so they're gonna be flipped as far as when we release them. But I think by this episode, we should be getting the hang of this a little bit more. We're going to be reviewing track by track every track on the album, one by one. But before we get started, what did you think, Ivan, of like Nicki before she released her album?
I mean, so I was a big Young Money stan. You know, I love Drake even before. I mean, I'm gonna sound super hip hop hipster, but I did like Drake like before he became mainstream with like.
Oh,
his
you mean
mixtapes.
Degrassi?
Jimmy. And obviously I've been a huge Lil Wayne fan for a long time. So, you know, I follow her kind of like through the Young Money like ladder. I heard her on like Lil Wayne's features, like the mixtapes, and the first time I really heard her was the Beam Me Up Scotty mixtape. I don't know if you remember that one.
Yeah, I kind of do.
I can't recall too many of the songs, but I remember that she had a cover of not Still I Rise. What was that T.I. song? It was like after he got locked up, but her track is called Still I Rise, and I can't remember the T.I. version of it, like the real version for some reason.
What does she talk about? I don't remember this track.
I don't know. I think she's talking about just like rising in the like the world of hip hop, but that was like one of the times I really like paid attention to her, and I mean the mixtape was kind of like, you know, it was cool. And what was that other one? Itty Bitty Piggy.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that one because that one was really cool. That's what I like about early Nicki. It was very like she was talking shit, but she was so playful and funny about it. Like she wasn't really taking herself that serious on that track. It was just like, I don't know, but that track to this day, a lot of Nicki fans really like that track.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I would like that song, or like if I can say I like that song, but I can appreciate like the playfulness and the fun, like energetic vibe to the song, I guess.
Yeah.
Even though it's a Soulja Boy song.
Oh,
Like
is that what it is?
Yeah. Yeah. It's from
I
his
wish I
first
didn't
album.
know that.
Yeah, it's from his first album. I can't remember what that song was either. It's a trash song anyway. Like the Soulja Boy.
And then another thing is that she was everywhere before we got to hear her debut album. Like she was featured on every song, I felt like, for about a year before she even released anything to radio, to mainstream.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. I think that's that helped her success a lot because she was already known, like especially from the Young Money projects like Bedrock.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Wayne took a role in a lot of that, and I don't know if it was intentional or not, but she was getting featured on not just rap tracks, but a lot of pop tracks already. And I don't know if that's because she was already thinking of doing this hybrid kind of album that she had, or if that in itself just kind of happened naturally. And she's like, yo, I should make an album that kind of, crosses over to both type of genres.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought. Yeah, I mean, it did help that she had like arguably the biggest rapper of that era, like in that time frame, like fully behind her.
Oh yeah,
and
big time.
Drake being like the next upcoming biggest rapper, like they were both like, always featuring her, and they were fully behind her as well.
Yeah. I'm mad that they didn't become a super group and release like an album as the three of them, because the three of them dominated for a few years there. Like when Nicki came out, it was like the three of them were either featured on someone's track or releasing their album or something. It was always featuring one of the three if you wanted to have a hit song.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's what what Lil Wayne was trying to do with Young Money, but
yeah,
I mean, out of what, maybe 8 people, 3 of them became huge, or I mean, he was already huge, so 2 of them became huge. That's still pretty win-win.
Well, there's a few, like Tyga wasn't. I mean, I don't really like him, but he came out from that, and when he was signed to Young Money, he had decent success.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about Tyga.
There's like a few others. I think Wayne got to do with Young Money what 50 Cent was trying to do with G Unit, but it didn't work out, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But back on track, because we're gonna ramble.
I was about to ramble about G Unit. No, yeah, let's go back on track.
That's another episode.
Do you want to start us off with her unfortunately scrapped single that was just so good?
Oh God. Yeah. So if you've listened to our Ariana, yours truly episode, you remember that she released a single, and then it did terrible, and then she kind of scrapped it and redid her whole album. And I don't know if that's what happened here too. I don't know if Nicki redid her whole album, but she did scrap the original lead single that was called Massive Attack, and it was produced and featured Sean Garrett, and he's produced and written songs for Pussycat Dolls, Britney, DMX, Chris Brown. So he's a big name, and he does good work. It was released in 2013. It did not chart anywhere on the Hot 100. And
I think that's a typo. I think you meant 2010.
I'm sorry. Yeah, April 13, 2010. I made a typo. Sorry, but this track, and I'm glad I didn't hear it when it came out.
I actually did hear it. So I don't know, for the big hip hop fans, there was a website called Hot New Hip Hop that had like all the hot new hip hop, but like the day that it leaked, like almost to like the hour or minute or something, I don't know, whoever was running this site had very good intel, and they always like immediately leaked like anything that was like right away. So if you wanted like the latest on anything, like that's how I got to hear a lot of tracks before they really came out. So I was like a hip hop hipster. Cause and then this song I remember being on there, and yeah, it's just awful.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't get to hear it when it came out, because I probably would have very quickly lost interest in her. Although I liked a lot of the stuff she had been featured on, especially Bottoms Up. That was one of the main verses that really caught my ear on Trey Songz. Bottoms Up.
Mine was Monster.
Well, Monster came out after that, I think, but.
Did?
I think so. I don't know. But either way, this song, how do I describe it? It sounds offbeat, and there's a lot of rap tracks like Drake, especially early Drake, where he purposely raps on the offbeats of the actual beats that are on the track. And this kind of sounds like it's offbeat, but it's not offbeat, and it's just because there's so much going on that clashes. It doesn't sound good, like, at all.
Yeah, it's a very messy production. I remember when hearing it, I kind of I kind of liked when there was like synthy kind of pop sounds to hip hop tracks, and at first I was like, okay, this is kind of okay, because of that. But then when you really like dive into the production, it's a mess, and even like the chorus isn't good. Her verses are kind of just okay. It's just I'm really glad they scrapped this.
Same. Although in the video, she rented. What car was she driving? Do you remember? In the music video?
Honestly don't even remember the music video.
It was some high-end car, and she was driving it through the desert, like on the dirt. It was like a Maserati or Lamborghini, something like that. And this bitch had rented it, and they told her specifically to not do something like that, so she got fined.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that story.
Anyways, I give this track a 2 out of 10.
I gave it a 5.
Why so high? Like, what are the parts that made it go a little bit more than a 0 for you?
I don't know. I'm trying to like think back to the song more.
I almost gave this a 0.
I haven't heard this song, and like before you brought it up, I had completely forgotten about it for like almost 10 years.
So did Nicki.
I wiped it from my memory, and then I heard it for the first time since then when you mentioned the song, and I was like, oh my god, I totally forgot about the song. I don't know, because it's bad, but I don't know, maybe because I've heard worse.
I guess the only reason I gave it 2 points is because I like a few lines that Nicki says throughout the song, but nothing that would make me go back and re-listen. But honestly, I wanted to give this a 0.
Dang, that's coming from a Nicki fan.
Yep, or especially early Nicki fan. But that thankfully that got scrapped. So let's move on to the actual album. So we're just going to review in order of track list. We're going to review the standard edition of the album and then give it a score. And then afterwards, we're going to review the deluxe edition tracks, the bonus tracks, and give it an overall score as well for everything together.
Yeah. So the first track on the album, I'm the Best. Very cocky. Produced by Kane Beats, who also produced for Lil Wayne, Drake, Trey Songz, Lupe Fiasco. I actually really like Kane Beats. He's a very good
same
producer.
here.
So the track, I think it's a really good intro track, like an opening track to the album. The production's pretty good. Even the chorus, and it's one of those like songy chorus that she does, and it kind of sets the tone for the album. The production is very like how do I say it? Very consistent to the album itself.
Yeah, I mean, going in, I didn't know what to expect because Nicki had been featured on so many other people's tracks that I thought maybe she was going to come out with club bangers, but this album was kind of more emotional, and I don't mean in a sad way, but like this track, for example, she's celebrating and she's claiming herself as the best, but it honestly, if you listen to the track, it's not even in a cocky way. It's like she's like hyping herself up to be the best, if that makes sense. It does sound
trying to be Ash Ketchum so bad.
She's trying to catch them all. But no, I think that it did great at setting that early Nicki's signature sound of blending hip hop and pop, and not in the way that Lil Wayne does or Drake does, because they would rap over kind of pop-ish instrumentals, but Nicki actually sang like a pop hook on her own without featuring another vocalist on this track. And it wasn't just like a talk sing kind of thing. It was like she was singing, and I think that was really great. The synths sound very poppy, and then the drums sound a little bit more hip hop. Kane Beats does great at blending the two genres in his production. I love the way he produces, and I really like this track. I don't know.
No, yeah, I have to agree with pretty much everything you said. Especially, I don't know, like, even though the production, like in this era, because I'm trying to look at it from how we kind of perceive the album in that era, but more so than how I see it now. Because if you look at it now, if you just play it and you've never heard this, you're gonna think it's just like a really basic production. And because we've already to this point, we've already heard so much pop infused with hip hop, but in this era in 2010, which this album was probably worked on since like 2009, it wasn't heard as much. So when we heard like this beat specifically, I was like, damn, this is gonna sound really good.
Yeah, and it was unfortunate that some of the Nicki fans that she already had up until this point were a little bit disappointed because it seemed like she was going a little bit more pop. And I can see that, but I can also see it felt genuine. It didn't feel like she was selling out. It really felt like this is what she wanted to do at that time.
Yeah, and she actually addresses that in one of the later songs on the album.
Yeah, she does. But overall, I give this track a 9 out of 10. I think it's a great intro song. It sounds dramatic, almost like a movie intro.
Yeah.
The way it starts, the instrumental.
I gave it an 8 out of 10 because it is a good song. It doesn't like do anything too crazy to stand out like overall compared to like the album, but it is still just a really good listen, and I'll still like go back and like when I listen to the album, I'll like listen to this track for sure.
Yeah, same here. Aside from giving it a number rating for me, I'm gonna start giving songs a color. So this is a little side story. This is one of my weird, I don't want to call it a quirk, but when I hear a song, I envision like a splatter of colors, and I don't think I've ever told anyone this, and I don't know if I'm the only one that does this. You
no,
too?
that's so crazy. I do the same exact thing, and I thought I was weird like for doing that. That's why I've never mentioned it, because I'm like, people aren't gonna understand that. That sounds so stupid.
No, for real. Usually it matches the album cover or shades along that, but not always.
No, yeah, I totally agree. Like, I didn't think people did that either, but yeah, I do that all the time.
like this track sounds pink and white to me.
Yeah, I know, I agree. Like almost, I think the pink is almost hot pink.
We sound fucking stupid.
Yeah, we do.
We're probably gonna cut most of this out, but Ivan and I just had a laughing attack for like 3 minutes straight because we're laughing at how dumb it is that we think of colors when we hear these tracks.
So I was trying to say to get like the full color experience. I can't say it.
No, just continue. So to get to full color experience, what?
You have to listen to music with like headphones on and really loud, like with like a really high volume to like feel to get the full color spectrum.
You know what? I agree. You know what I used to do? And I did this with this album. I remember very specifically, my friend in high school burned it for me. And I took it home and I played it, and I laid down and I closed my eyes so that I can just kind of envision where the musical journey was going to take me. I was fucking corny as a kid. But like I would do that anytime new music dropped. And I guess I would envision, maybe that's where the colors come from, that I on first listen I would like try to close my eyes and just kind of envision things, and I wasn't tripping, I promise. I was sober. No. I remember this album was like physical copies were selling out, and I remember this video went viral on Twitter where two girls were literally fist fighting each other because there was one last copy of the album, and Nicki saw it and she actually signed a copy and gave them, like, mailed them both a copy because she felt bad.
That's pretty cool of her.
Yeah. Anyway, shall we move on to Roman's Revenge?
Yes. I got the laughing out of my system.
I think so too, kind of. Well, Roman's Revenge was featuring Eminem, produced by Swiss Beats. He's produced for Eve, Wayne, Alicia Keys, many others. I think people know who Swiss Beats is if you listen to hip hop.
If you know hip hop, yeah, you know Swiss Beats.
So this song wasn't like a real single, but it was released as a promo single before the album dropped on October 30th, 2010. And it actually charted at number 56, which is weird. It had no promotion. It had no music video. Really, I don't even think she performed it live up until this point.
It had Eminem, probably, that's why.
That too, yeah. I mean, and Nicki was obviously blowing up at that time, but...
And Swiss Beats as a producer. In this era, I think he was still pretty much a household name for
That's
hip-hop.
True. But I think the drums are very Swiss Beats on this track. I do like Nicki's verses better than Eminem's verses on here, which is weird because I love Eminem. I don't know, something about his verses seemed a little off. I don't know.
It could be also because of this era. He was still barely like kind of like coming back, and he had just, if I'm remembering the timeline correctly, he had just released Relapse, which
Oh yeah.
if it's arguably the worst Eminem album, he does that weird accent too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I'm getting sidetracked, but yeah, it maybe he was still maybe trying to get into the groove of being, you know, a feature on hip hop, like, I don't know, into the game, I guess.
Yeah, if I would have had to predict what Pink Friday was going to sound like before I got to listen to the album, this is what I would have probably guessed. Like I said earlier, I didn't know for sure going in because she had been featured on so many pop and rap tracks. But this is kind of what I was thinking, because someone signed under Lil Wayne as this is just one of the few tracks on the album that is just pure hip hop production, lyrically, everything about it.
Yeah, and I think the remix with Lil Wayne wasn't necessarily a remix. I'm thinking it was probably recorded with him, and it was just kind of dubbed as a remix because they were able to get Eminem on the track.
No. I actually found some fun facts about this track. Nicki got to email Eminem asking him to work on her album, and the first track she sent, I could be wrong on this, but I think it was the Right Through Me, and he was like, what the fuck? He's like, can you send me something that's a little bit more like me?
She sent him Right Through Me.
Yeah, and he was like, or it might have been another track, but you know, majority of the tracks, like just the instrumental she sent to him, you know, they kind of have that pop fusion, and so he was like, can you send me something that's a little bit more me? And then she sent him the instrumental to Roman, and he agreed.
Oh,
if anything, the Wayne remix to me sounds very kind of like Wayne just randomly had that verse somewhere and they slapped it on just to say a remix featuring Lil Wayne. I feel like it doesn't flow.
I like how like the deluxe version of the album has the Wayne remix. The complete edition does not, because they threw that version on Roman's Reloaded.
No, Roman Reloaded is a different album.
I know, but they threw Roman's Revenge with Lil Wayne on that album.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
They have Roman Reloaded, the title track on that album.
What's up?
The title track, Roman Reloaded, is on the album. Never mind. We're gonna confuse people. But you know, Lil Wayne's verse, it wasn't bad by any means, but it felt so like it just didn't belong in the track. Like both Eminem and Nicki, when they rapped on this track, they were talking about their haters and they were talking shit. And then Wayne's over here talking about how Nicki's fuckable, basically. That's what his verse is about.
You know what? Sorry to backtrack. You're right. I confused the whole Roman Reloaded thing.
I knew it. I knew when you were saying something a few days ago about a re-release of this, and I'm like, that's a different album. But anyway.
Yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves. No, yeah, I agree with you. But the thing, I don't know, like the chorus on this song annoys the crap out of me, and I'm sure that goes to a lot of people. But you were showing me that other unreleased version of it, I Feel Pretty.
Yeah. So that was sampled from a musical called West Side Story.
Well, I mean, I think we all know I Feel Pretty, right?
Well, my dumbass didn't know.
You didn't know that song?
No. Anyways, but proceed.
Yeah, I'm shook that you don't know I Feel Pretty, but yeah, no, I don't know. I didn't know if to like it more or less than this version, like the official version of the song, because they're both awful, like the chorus.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but like I think we were talking about how you said it sounds more theatrical, which is kind of her, like how she was in her early career, which I kind of get, but I don't know. I might prefer that chorus over this one.
Yeah, I prefer excuse me. I prefer the chorus, the final one on the album, like as if I'm just listening to the track. I don't mind the chorus. It's repetitive, but I like that it alludes to Busta Rhymes, the Dungeon Dragon thing. But the one that leaked, if you haven't heard it, go listen to it. It's on YouTube. It fit more with the rest of the album. It fit more with Nicki. It fit more with the song too, because it was supposed to be almost like Nicki Minaj's alter ego Roman and Eminem's alter ego Slim Shady talking shit to each other. And I don't know, Roman, if you know the backstory, if you're a stan like I used to be of Nicki's, he's this dramatic gay dude alter ego that she had. So it was so fitting, because he's like spastic and talks shit and full of himself.
Yeah, and I remember, I know you were giving me a little bit of a history lesson as far as Roman goes, because I never really got the concept of Roman. Not that I didn't get it, more so I didn't care for it, so I didn't care like to dig deep into why she was doing this like Roman stuff. But yeah. I don't know. I guess if like she was trying to do like this whole theatrical kind of theme to stuff. Yeah, I guess I get it in that aspect of it.
Yeah, I mean, she also had multiple alter egos. Maybe that's why I like Nicki. Like multiple personality disorder. That's a story for another day. But she had Martha at the end of this song, who's Roman's mother, yelling at Roman and Eminem.
Yeah, see that part. That really annoys me. When I get to like that part of the song, I definitely like immediately skip it. I'm like, nope, I'm not listening to Martha screaming.
I freaking love it, because it's just so silly. Like I said, in that song, she was kind of serious, talking shit. Obviously, everyone speculates that it was a Lil' Kim diss, which I do believe it was. But I don't know. At the end, she just made it kind of goofy and silly. Like, again, not taking herself as serious. I feel nowadays Nicki, I still love Nicki, but it sounds more when she raps nowadays, she's kind of full of herself. And back then she was a little bit more carefree and didn't care to make a fool of herself. I don't know. Anyways, okay, well, I give this a 10 out of 10. The remix gets an 8 out of 10 because Wayne's verse was good, but it didn't fit the vibe of the track.
I actually gave it an 8 out of 10.
Wow. What about the remix?
I gave it an 8 out of 10. I think they're the same to me. It's whether I want to listen to Eminem or Lil Wayne, which I love both.
I gave it a pink and lavender for its color.
You know what? I was actually thinking about this also while we were talking. I always saw this song as green.
Oh, green! I didn't think about that.
It's like almost like a green, almost tealish, but
I'm gonna go back and re-listen. Maybe it'll change its color for me now that you said it like that. I doubt though, because I think this one was heavily influenced by the album cover, this whole album, and since it's fucking pink, I think every track on this is shades of pink for me.
I think maybe like with the addition of Eminem, it like, I don't know, and I think no, you know what? It's the production. It sounds greenish to me.
I love that word. So dumb. I know, but I love it. You know what? No. You know what? No, because I actually heard this track when it leaked I think like a month or a few weeks ahead of the Pink Friday release. So I didn't even know what the album cover looked like. And I already thought of it as like pink and lavender. Rudy showed me it, our friend Rudy. He used to be a mixtape Nicki fan. So he was really disappointed with this album because it was so pop, but beside the point. So ever since I heard it, even before it was on the album, I had already heard this track, and I loved the track because I'm like, oh my god, and it always sounded pink to me and lavender.
It's interesting. Anyway, we spent so much time talking about Roman's Revenge.
This is a special edition for the 10th anniversary of Pink Friday, so it can be long, I guess.
That's true. So the third track, Did It On 'Em. Produced by Bangladesh, who's also a pretty big hip-hop producer of this era. Produced for Lil Wayne, the Franchise Boys, Rihanna. It was released April 7th. I was going to say 17th. April 7th, 2011, as the 6th single of the album. So she had a lot of singles.
She did. Some were regional, which we'll get to. So some weren't even released with a video or in the US, but overall the 6th single.
Yeah, 49 on the Hot 100, and it was certified gold. So a little bit, I don't know, well, more of my thoughts on the album, or not the album, the song. I don't like the background vocals of whoever that was yelling.
Oh my god, that's the best part.
Really? I hate that. I think I don't know, to me, it like throws the song off to me. I'm just like, I don't want to hear you because I actually do think that what's it called, that the song is pretty good, but because of like that yelling, I can't get as into it.
Well, I don't know. For me, I don't know. For me, it was a good track. It sounded very. I mean, the production was pure hip hop because Bangladesh does that type of production, like Lil Wayne's A Milli, and it sounded very like that, which I liked because it's probably the only other track that was pure rap aside from Roman's Revenge on this album. And I don't know, it was I like it's Safari yelling in the background, by the way, who used to be her hype man, and on the DL they were dating, but
Oh, okay. So he's the one that does that other yelling that we'll get to that I hate.
No, I love the yelling. It's so funny. Me and one of my friends, my best friend Tyree, she and I would listen to it, and we would always like laugh at that shit he was saying in the background. He's like, "You must have me mistaken with your mother," and then he says, "What does he say? Something about I don't know what layaway looks like." Like it's just funny shit. I don't know. I fucking love it.
I've actually never paid attention to what he was saying that much. I just didn't like it. I don't know.
Pay attention, because for the longest time I used to drown it out until Ty is the one that she's like, "Have you heard this shit?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "Listen to the background, just a guy yelling," and we heard it and we were dying. I think if you pay attention to just what he's saying, you'll get a kick out of it. It's funny. It goes back to the whole this song's talking shit to her haters, but it's silly and goofy too.
Yeah. I don't know. I gave the song a 7.
I gave it an 8. It's good. It's not my favorite because the chorus is kind of bland. If anything, Safari makes it slightly better for me. But the actual chorus, like, it's just I don't know. It seems very mixtape Nicki era, but not like the production was very minimal.
Yeah, I like the production, but it wasn't anything like too impressive. And I liked her verses on the song.
I did like her verses. They were funny, and it started the whole "all you bitches are my sons" line that she's
and then
overused.
She says stepsons.
I gave this 8 out of 10. Oh, I think I already said that, but I gave it purple and gray.
You know what? So I thought, like how we're talking about how like the album goes very on par with like the whole pinkish kind of style, but this one I also see it kind of like green. Now that I think about it, almost like a yellowy green. Like,
what's with you in green? I can't see it at all.
Yeah, like how Romance was like kind of closer to like yellow, a greenish blue. This one's more of a like greenish yellow.
Oh my god, I can't believe we're talking about. Well, hopefully, if anyone's listening to this, hopefully we're not crazy, and hopefully you think of colors or some visual when you listen to music. But I mean, for me, that's all I gotta say about that track.
Yeah. Next track is Right Through Me, and it was produced by Drew Money. Up until this point, he had no big production credits. He actually produced quite a bit of songs on this album, and this was kind of his breakthrough to produce for other artists. So this was released September 24, 2010 as a third single, peaked at 26 on the Hot 100, and it did go gold. It also samples Always With Me, Always With You by Joe Satriani, if I pronounce that right. I don't know. You didn't put that on my notes.
Oh.
I might have. I don't know. You might have added it later.
Yeah, I probably did. But what are your thoughts on it?
It's like one of those. It's actually it does a really well. It does a really good job at merging like that pop and hip hop sound that she was kind of being known for, or like starting to get into, I guess I should say. And I really like the production. The verses are really well written for like its theme of the song. Like it goes on par. She doesn't stray from the theme of what the song is about.
Yeah.
And I do see that you wrote that Kanye actually wanted to be on this song instead of Blazing.
Yeah. She had to beg Kanye to not be on this song because he wanted to be on this song so bad. I guess she sent him like the unfinished, I don't know if it was the album or a handful of tracks, and she wasn't expecting him to be on this. But I can kind of see it during that era, Kanye being on this track.
Yeah, it almost sounds like how he would perform like when he did the Carrie Hilson and Neo feature.
Yeah, exactly. I can see that type of verse, but I'm glad Kanye wasn't on this song. I don't think I would have liked Kanye. I like Kanye as a producer back in the day, but never as a lyricist or as a feature on there. I don't know.
Really? I like
Yeah.
Kanye as a feature. Like Run This Town, he destroyed Jay-Z on his own song.
Oh yeah. Once in a while he'll have a good verse, but I don't think he's much of a lyricist in my opinion.
I like Kanye's like lyrical, what's the word? The way he rhymes. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he's really good. But so she wanted Eminem on the song, but she didn't want Kanye on the song.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, because I don't. Yeah, this like looking back at that, this song does not fit Eminem's style at all.
You know what? It kind of did during that era because he had just dropped "Love the Way You Lie," or it was around that era.
That was after.
You're right. It was the year after.
Yeah.
But
This is relapse era Eminem.
I don't know. That is weird. I can kind of see like "Love the Way You Lie" Eminem on this track though. Like angry because she's rapping and she's not like angry yelling at whoever she's rapping about, but she's like upset. You can tell she's upset in her tone and she's saying like, why aren't you kind of paying attention to me? Why do you see right through me? So I can see Eminem having like a verse back. I can see him fitting.
Like lyrically, I guess, but I don't Love the Way You Lie. He was more like aggressive, like in his tone, and I don't see that aggressiveness like fitting this song.
I do. I can see it as like a yin yang situation with Nicki's verses. Now I wish there was a remix with him.
Yeah, I don't know. I give the song an 8 because I do like the song, even though it's a little cheesy, but I like it.
It's cheesy, but it's also bordering on like a serious topic. I don't think it was about abuse or anything like that, but I think it was about an unhealthy relationship. And Nicki said before releasing this album that she was going to tone down like all the sexual innuendos that she had been doing on her mixtapes and featured tracks up until that point. And I guess I didn't really get what she meant by that until I heard this album. And she wanted it to be for, you know, she knows that she had a younger female audience primarily, and she didn't want to be as much of a bad influence. I guess she wanted to make something a little bit relatable.
And then
I
she
gave
goes
it
and drops Anaconda.
I know, but that was years later. I mean, she changed her mind. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10, and I gave it lavender and pink.
Yeah, I'd agree with those colors. That's
Cool. Shall we move on?
Yeah. Fly featuring Rihanna, produced by J.R. Rodham, big producer in this era. Produced for Lil Kim, Rihanna, Paris Hilton, Britney Spears, and of course Sean Kingston. Released August 30th, 2011 as the 8th and final single. Number 19 on the Hot 100, and the song went platinum, which is actually crazy because the album had been out for almost a year at this point.
Yeah, I didn't realize how long this era was.
Yeah.
Until like I was doing the notes for this.
Cause she labeled like a million things Pink Friday, and she released. I don't know. She milked the crap out of Pink Friday.
Ian, for the millionth time, Roman Reloaded had nothing
I know
to do
it's
with
separate
Pink
album,
Friday.
but it's called Pink Friday Roman Reloaded.
But it literally does not have anything to do with Pink Friday minus a name.
I know, but it's just the fact that she's just milking the name Pink Friday is what I'm saying.
Oh my god.
Look at my Spotify. Pink Friday Deluxe, Pink Friday Complete, Pink Friday ... Roman Reloaded, Pink Friday ... Roman Reloaded Deluxe, another one Deluxe, Pink Friday Roman Reloaded the re-up.
That was a re-release of Roman Reloaded. But anyway, besides the point, with Fly, I think it also did great at blending the two genres of pop and rap. I think that J.R. Rodham was a perfect producer to do that blend too, because he does both genres and he does them both really well. I don't think up until this point he had done something that merged them together though. I think this was kind of new for him.
I'm trying to remember, like, because he produced a lot of hits in this era, so I'm trying to remember like the time frame, but I think you might be right. I know he did like the Sean Kingston songs, like the big ones.
Yeah, he did.
As far as Fly though, I think the production is good. It's like a good JR production, but the song to me is too corny even for like Nicki Minaj. Like
Really?
she's she's kind of a bit of a corny cheesy rapper at times, but I don't know. I think the song is just too corny for my taste.
Really? I thought it was more on the emotional side. Like the verses got to me the first time I heard it. Maybe it's because I was like in high school. So
Yeah,
but
I don't know. Like I don't know. It just everything about it. Like I don't know. I didn't feel as much of the emotion. I generally felt like it was pushing too hard to try to be an emotional song rather than it naturally being an emotional song.
I don't know. I related to this song at the time when it dropped, so maybe that's what it is for me. Like I remember the whole first verse, and saying, what does she say? Something about, I don't remember the first line now. After I just said that, I remember the whole first verse. I remember the vibe of the first verse, and she was saying about making the pain go away. Maybe that's why I push strangers away. I don't know.
She said, like, I wish it would rain all day. Maybe that'll make the pain go away. Something
There
like
we go. That's the line I was trying to remember, and I couldn't. But I don't know. I really liked it. I thought it had a good message. I thought it was good that she featured an actual singer on the hook, because Nicki can sing, but it was nice. It felt more. It was
like
cheesy.
a bigger song because of it.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
and
the
also because
collab
it had
helped.
Rihanna.
Big
Yeah.
time. But I gave this 9.5 out of 10. It was one of my favorites.
I gave it a 6.
What? A 6?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just not for me. It's not a song for me, I guess. And I don't know. Yeah, there's not much.
Is
I can say,
there
I guess.
anything that you would have changed, that you could change or think about changing to make it a little bit higher?
The lyrics. I think the lyrics are just what kind of gets me, that are a little too corny. Even the
Okay.
chorus lyrics are just. I mean, I get that it's like an inspirational song. It's meant to like kind of lift you up a little bit.
Yeah.
Hearing it, but I don't know. It just didn't do that for me.
Well, I gave it, if I haven't said already, pink, purple, and gray.
To me, actually, it was more of a really light pink, almost borderline white, and like with a little splash of yellow, like a light yellow though.
I'm still dying that we're really talking about this. Like we're not fucking nuts, but
We might.
maybe
that's why we're
I can
friends.
True. I can see a hint of red, and maybe it's because Rihanna's hair during that era.
I don't know. I think I was maybe thinking like, and this is kind of like reaching a bit. So I was thinking like light pink, kind of almost borderline white, and the splash of yellow to me comes from like thinking of flying and like the sun.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know, like that kind of like that imagery kind of popped into my head a little bit, and it blended the colors.
I think for me, the pink and purple just come from the album, and the grays from the video, because they're kind of in this dead apocalyptic world thing, and it's just gray mostly, if I remember correctly.
I don't remember the music video for this.
Well, shall we move on?
Yes, because we're not
So-
even halfway done.
Next up is Save Me, who was produced by Pop and Oak. They produced, they're a duo. They produced for Trey Songz, Rihanna, Ariana Grande. This was probably the first track on the album to be pure pop. There was no rapping. It was just a pure pop song.
I really like the somber like production to it. Her vocals are actually some of the better sounding as far as her singing.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's not too much to say about the song really. It's other than it's just kind of a pop song, like you said.
Yeah. Well, the intro, I don't know if you ever paid attention to the drums. They reminded me of Powerpuff Girls, like the intro to it. I don't know if you've ever noticed
I'll have to go
that.
back and listen to that.
Like literally, it's the same beat as when Powerpuff Girls start, but then this goes more in a mid-tempo compared to Powerpuff Girls. Intro is more upbeat and flashy, but I like that this was all singing, no rapping, because we hadn't really heard Nicki on a track like that. It was, I don't know, I guess it was kind of a sad song talking about I'm giving up in our relationship. This time, won't you save me? So maybe she's always the one putting in work in the relationship.
Yeah.
And
Like
I was
she's the one
single.
saving him, but she wants to be saved.
Yeah, like during this time, I was single, but I was pretending that I had a boyfriend that I was fighting with just so I can be sad to this song.
I can't relate to that.
Oh.
Ow. And this era, I think in this era of when this came out, I had graduated high school already, and I had started college.
How did you graduate so early? We were in the same grade.
I didn't have a senior year. I finished up my credits that summer and just graduated early.
I'm glad I stick through because I got to do band one last time.
I didn't like people.
Oh, me neither. But I liked my drum line, and I liked most of the band kids during that time. And the only reason that high school was fun for me is because I was in drumline. But beside the point, I gave this song a 9 out of 10.
I give it an 8 out of 10.
Pretty good. I see it as lavender and light pink and maybe some gray.
Yeah, I was like, it's a little more lavender gray to me.
Yeah.
The best song on the album. All right, go.
Wow. Spoiler alert.
Oh, it's me. Moment for Life featuring Drizzy Drake. Produced by T Minus, who produced for 2 Chainz, Drake, Kendrick Lamar, Lana Del Rey. Released December 7, 2010 as the 4th single. Peaked at number 13 on the Hot 100, number 50 on the year-end chart, and the song itself was certified platinum. Oh man, so as I said before, I think this is the best song on the album, and to me personally, probably my all-time favorite Nicki Minaj song.
Wow.
I think it's a timeless hip-hop song, really. It's like if there's something that like personally will immortalize Nicki Minaj, to me will be like this song. Like every verse is like great, stays within its like topic. Drake, I think it's a little funny that Drake simps a lot over Nicki in this era.
Yeah, he did. I still wish they end up together one day, but Nicki's married now and she got kids and
he got kids too.
Anyway, onto the song. Yeah, I don't know. The instrumental felt very hip hop, but there was a few elements that bordered on a pop sound. I don't know. It like I think the chimes, or I don't know what to call it, at the beginning that loop throughout the whole song.
I feel like the chimes are more hip hop to me.
Really? And then the vocals in the bridge felt very pop for me.
Yeah, the vocals for sure.
Not
like
even so much
chorus.
on the chorus though. I didn't really feel that as a pop, but regardless, it's a good track, whichever way it leans with. And I think it speaks to this album that we're having a hard time defining it as if it leans more towards pop or rap, because Nicki did such a great job with this album on blending the two genres effortlessly. But I don't know. It was a song that my cringe younger self loved getting emo to, because like I've said many times, I was in drumline, and I remember when this album dropped, my cheesy ass was like, oh my god, when this song is always going to remind me of, you know, my moment for life and all the stuff I'm doing with my drumline right now. And you know what it does? Every time I play it now, it still takes me back. I'm still friends with majority of the people that I was close friends with back then during the marching band days. And it's just so cool. It does take me back, because Nicki's singing about having her moment in life as a rapper, and it takes me back to my little musical journey I had for like 2 years. And
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just good times, good vibes.
Yeah. I don't think I have as emotional of an attachment to the song as you do,
Yeah.
apparently. But no, I still just really like this song, and this is always gonna be the song that I remember this album for. Other than
I remember
Super
when
Bass.
I heard this album, and how I said earlier that I was laying down in bed and I just closed my eyes and I put earbuds in, and hearing the intro to this song before Nicki even started, I got like a little emotional. I don't know, something about the track sounded very, I don't want to say sad, because the song isn't even sad, but it sounded very emotional. I don't know.
Yeah, it like the intro to the song kind of makes me feel the same way that One Last Time from Ariana does.
That's what it is. Yeah, something, even though it was the first time hearing it, it's almost nostalgic. You almost want to go back in time and you start to think about the past.
Yes. I gave the song a 10.
I gave it a 10. And I gave it pink and black, but not so much the color, more like space and stars. So like black with some white spots on it and maybe some lavender.
You and that fucking lavender. I agree with like the spacey kind of feel to it, like the starry stuff, but I actually think of it more of a almost mustardy yellow.
Gross.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the production.
The production sounds yellow to you? I'm hoping it never turns yellow for me, but I guess that's it. Should we move on to Check It Out?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Check It Out was a collab with and produced by will.i.am. And, excuse me. Check It Out was a collab with and produced by will.i.am. And I think everyone knows who will.i.am is, of Black Eyed Peas. He's worked with many, many artists that I could list forever, including Macy Gray, Flo
I knew you
Rida.
threw that in there to take a stab at me, because there's no reason why you would have thrown that in there.
I really did. You guys don't know what we're talking about, but you'll find out on the next episode, because we recorded the last episode and Ivan had this thing with Macy Gray. Anyway, will.i.am's produced for Flo Rida, Pussycat Dolls, Britney. It was released on September 3rd, 2010 as a second single, peaking at 24 on the Hot 100, but notice how this one doesn't have a certification. I wonder why.
It does sample Video Killed the Radio Stars by the Bugles. How do you say that?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I think Bugles. We might mispronounce artist names. We're sorry. We're dumb. We're uneducated. We went to school in the hood.
So this song, okay. The song is like awful in almost every way. From like the verses, the vocals, the chorus, but the production is pretty good. I do like the production.
I didn't like it. Anything about
bouncy.
This. It is, but
I don't know. Like that. All that aside, I actually do really like this song. And it's one of my favorites on the album. I know that it's an awful song, but it's like one of my guiltiest pleasure songs.
I wish I could relate, but I really don't. It just seems it borders on massive attack level production for me. Like, it just kind of, at certain parts, it almost feels like it's off. Like, some stuff is just not meshing well. And I kind of wish I liked it. I like the bridge where Nicki has that one verse and she's like, da-dun-dun. And I don't know the fucking rest, but I like that part.
The last
it's
verse
catchy. Yeah. I don't know what else to say about this track, because it sounded like almost how we were saying she was blending both the genres effortlessly in all the other tracks that we've mentioned. It sounds like this was trying to do that and it fucking failed, like, terribly.
The auto-tune is awful in the song.
Auto-tune aside, with or without auto-tune, it's just a terrible song. Like, it sounded like will.i.am was Nicki probably brought the idea that she's fusing both genres on this album, and Will can be very hit or miss with his production. This track was not it for me. It's just, the production's just messy. It sounded too try hard to try to blend the two genres. I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with pretty much everything you said, but nonetheless, I love.
But you still like it. I wish I could relate. I wish it was a guilty pleasure for me.
Pull up to the party like my name was that bitch.
That bitch. See, I know, kind of.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, it's like one of those songs that, like, I'm ashamed to like it, but I just really do.
And I wish I liked it, because up until this point, I loved every track on this album to some degree, or for a different mood. Like, sometimes there are times where certain songs I skip, but it's because I'm not in the mood for them, because this album does have, like, some emotional undertones to it where I'm just like, this is too sappy for me right now. But
yeah,
I gave this a 6.5 out of 10.
I gave it an 8.
Gross. And I gave it like
I'm
bright
surprised
purple.
you gave it a 6.5.
Well, that last verse saved it for me. I think it's dumb and goofy, and it sounds like Nicki during that era.
Okay.
The chorus is trash though, but I gave it like a bright purple and a hot pink for the color.
I gave it more of a solid pink, like
I
the
can see
album
it.
cover.
Yeah. Well, on to Blazin' featuring
Blazin'.
Kanye West.
Yes.
And it was produced by Drew Money again. Honestly, I could have sworn that Kanye produced this track, but I guess not.
Yeah, you know what? When I first heard it, I thought it was a Kanye West production as well.
Yeah, doesn't it sound like one of his productions?
I mean, now that I look back at it, I can see how it doesn't sound like Kanye, but at the time, I really thought that it was Kanye like a Kanye production.
I think the reason I thought it was Kanye, not so much the actual production, but the way the sample was used. It samples Don't You Forget About Me by Simple Minds. And like if you go listen to this track, the original, and then play it, comparing it to Nicki's, the way it was sampled and then the sample was manipulated and pitched and tweaked into being part of the instrumental, it sounds very Kanye. Like his earlier work used to be.
Yeah, I haven't heard like the song it's sampled from.
You gotta hear it. But I like this track. This was one of my favorites too. I think I don't know, it was another one of those uplifting songs where she's hyping herself up, but it's not too serious. She has some corny ass fucking lines in her verse, but I love them all. And then she does that fast rap for like 5 seconds, and I'm like, oh, I wish she did more of that.
Yeah, I don't know what it was specifically about this song, but something about her voice kind of annoyed me in a lot of parts of it. But the production is kind of on par with like the sound of her album. It's very consistent. Yeah. And the Kanye West verse to me is like amazing. It's probably like, I don't know, one of the best Kanye features I think of this era.
Wow. I think the only line that I liked from Kanye when he said the only thing higher is I don't know what or Notes of Mariah. That was clever. But I did not care for his verse at all. I wish it was either a solo track and Nicki had a second verse, because Nicki for me killed it on the first verse. It was a mix of being goofy and being funny and having good metaphors, and I don't know, it was very Nicki. She blended everything that she was at that time into one verse right there for me.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I think Kanye's verse was better.
So this track, do you think it leans more rap or do you think it leans more pop?
I think it leans a little bit more pop.
Really?
Yeah.
But I think for the production, having the sample, the way it uses it, and the drums, and having Nicki and Kanye actually rapping during their verses, I thought it leaned more hip hop. I like that we have these different perspectives.
Right. Yeah, because I don't know. I was gonna say something and I forgot.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
It's all good. I guess yeah. I mean, it's one of the better songs on the album too. That it's probably like my third, or actually probably my second favorite song on the album. I gave it a 9.
I gave it a 9 as well, and the only reason I didn't give it a 10 was because I wish the chorus and the bridge were stronger and something other than I'm blazing, 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 blazing times 100 on both the bridge and the chorus. She just says that, and I'm like, bruh, come on. Like, it sounded kind of unfinished, almost like they were stretching it for time.
Yeah, I feel like they could have definitely cut a little bit. You know what's weird? I could have sworn the song had 3 verses.
Nope.
But yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It sounds unfinished. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I could have sworn there was a third, like a second Nicki verse, but
I wish.
Mandela effect.
This song never had another verse. I would have known. I was obsessed with this album as a kid, but I gave this pink and white for its colors.
I actually see it more like a kind of a pinkish, reddish orange.
I can actually kind of see that too. Yeah. Like
the orange is like a little bit more like
sunset.
Tones of pink. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can see it. See, if I don't know if it's just us that we're crazy, but if we are, then we're crazy together, and that's why we're friends.
Next song, Here I Am, produced by Swiss Beats. Swiss Beats actually did a lot of production on this,
Yeah.
especially like the deluxe stuff. Samples Red Sky by John B and Shaz Sparks. Here I Am. I like the song. It's one of my favorite productions on the album. When I first heard it, I actually was surprised to know that it was a Swiss Beats production.
Yeah, same here. I don't think it sounded very Swiss Beats at all.
Yeah, like you can usually hear his sound fairly well, but this one, I don't know. But I'm glad it's not just me that thinks that.
Yeah.
I don't like that kind of like the emptiness of the chorus though. Like you said, it kind of like how you said about Blazing. Like it feels something's missing there in the chorus. Like otherwise, like this song I think would have been one of my top favorites. But yeah, something about the chorus just kind of, I don't know. It's just bland a little bit.
Yeah, same here. I don't know. The production sounds it sounds good. It sounds very hip hop. It sounds very rap. It almost, not exactly, but it kind of, the production alone gives me vibes to mixtape Nicki, where it was just, she could have gone ham on this, and I think this song falls a little flat for me because it has like a classic rap sound almost, but Nicki's verses is not that at all, and I kind of wish she went a little bit more ham on this.
Yeah, I agree. Like the song had, I think I hear the potential, and maybe that's why I like the song, but it does fall short of its potential.
Because even the chorus, I could have been fine with it being the way that it is, even though I'm meh about it, if Nicki had gone ham on that and been more
I wrote meh on my notes when you said meh.
Yo, I do that too. I write meh on my notes sometimes. We have notes because we'll get really sidetracked if we don't write bullet points for ourselves to talk about like certain things about the track. We get really sidetracked, as you can tell. It's a few times so far, but this song would have been so much better for me if it had been like another, not necessarily Roman, but just, I don't know how to explain it, Nicki mixtape era Nicki rapping over this beat.
Yeah. I don't know. I gave the song an 8.
I gave it a 7. Lavender and gray for me.
I think of it as like a greenish gray.
Now I'm envisioning green now, but I can't make the lavender go away. But I like that it has some green in it now in the background, like some teal.
You really like lavender, huh?
I you know what's funny? I don't even care about lavender, but this album, I mean, I don't know why, it just sounds very like that to me. It's like pink, but then make it emotional.
Like I find that funny because you use that gif all the time.
Yeah, you know the gif with Tyra Banks where she's like ho, but then make it fashion, and we always use that in different contexts.
I'll add that in. You mean you?
You've been using it too once in a while.
Yeah, the memes get infectious, and we all kind of start blending memes.
Yeah.
Anyway, next track.
Wait, did you give it a rating? Oh yeah, you did. You said an 8.
Yeah, you said it 7.
All right, so the next track is Dear Old Nicki, another Kane Beats production, and the production was like 95% pop for me and like 5% rap, because it had like some drum beats that sounded like they were trying to be rap, but not really.
Yeah, I honestly, the production being just kind of decent was the only thing that I liked about the song.
I think I disagree. I really liked the verses. It felt, I mean, a lot of the tracks on the album were saying that they were emotional, but it wasn't Nicki talking about herself necessarily. And this is the only glimpse that we got about Nicki. I don't know. It felt very personal. I'm weirded out that she put it on an album for everyone to see, and she was like calling herself out. Basically what other people had already been saying, that she was a sellout and that dear old Nicki, please call back. And you know what's weird? I feel like this song fits more nowadays than back then, because I wish this old Nicki during this era would come back.
Yeah, like I definitely see what she was trying to do with the song, like for sure. She was, like you said, she was talking about how she went kind of pop, what people were talking about, and how they would prefer old Nicki, which was, the mixtape Nicki, basically.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Honestly, I just don't care for the song. I know when I first listened to the album, this is probably my least favorite song on the album. And I'd never really paid attention to the song that much. I knew what it was about. I just didn't care for it. Because I didn't follow her like that thoroughly through her journey, I guess, and her career. It just didn't do anything for me.
For me, it was just the fact, it wasn't about her career for me. It just felt, keep in mind, I was very a hormonal teenager that anything made me sad. So I think that's what it was for me. It just made me kind of sad, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't even know what I'm crying about, but I'm crying. I don't know, I really liked it. I thought the instrumental was catchy, and I like her verses a lot, and the way her voice echoes when she's singing during the chorus. I gave this a 9 out of 10.
I gave it a 6.
That's fair, I can see it, but I gave this, as far as colors go, pink, baby blue, and white.
Yeah, actually, I agree with all 3 of those colors.
I find it funnier when you actually agree with my colors, because I'm like, maybe we're not that crazy.
Next song, though. Do you have anything else to add to that?
Nah, go on.
Next song, Your Love, produced by Pop and Oak, released as the lead single on June 1st, 2010. Peaked at number 14 on the Hot 100. It did go platinum. Samples No More I Love Yous by Annie Lennox. You wrote that a leaked, unfinished version of the song started getting radio played, and that's how it eventually became the lead single.
Yeah, it's so weird.
So I guess looking back at how so this is the lead single and Check It Out was number 2, I can see why her mixtape following were upset to this point. It's because both songs are super poppy.
Yeah.
Like really poppy.
This song was the first track that I heard by Nicki. I wasn't really following her in her mixtape days, or I should say this is the first solo track that I have ever heard by Nicki, and I heard it on the radio back when the radio was a thing, and I remember driving and it came on, and I had no idea who it was. I knew who Nicki was because I had heard her feature on a few verses up until this point on other tracks, but no clue who this was. And I'm like, what is that? That sounds very unique. It sounds like she's rapping, but it's pop. And coming from that perspective of, I wasn't a mixtape Nicki fan, I thought it was very cool and very unique. And maybe if I had been a mixtape Nicki fan, I would have been probably disappointed in this, but I liked it for what it was, and I'm glad that it had crossover appeal. It still had, I thought it had rap elements. Like if you change the production and the chorus a bit, it would be like a straight pop song. It would be, rap song. Like you can make it an emotional rap song about her rapping to her lover.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know, but to me, like the chorus never really caught my attention that much. Like I don't think the chorus is that good, other than that little catchy part where it says your love, because it is catchy. Yeah.
You don't like that little sample? I love that sample.
Yeah, like the song is catchy, but again, like the lyrics are just a little too corny sometimes for me. Even though I know that that's kind of what it's meant to be in a way. But the song is still listenable. Not by me, but it's still listenable too.
Yeah, no, I actually liked this track a lot when it came out, and I think I overplayed it too, where nowadays I'm 50-50 if I skip it, but giving it a rating on just what it is, I gave it a 9 out of 10.
I gave it a 7.
I give this pink and maybe hot pink as well.
Yeah, actually, I agree as well. It's very solid pinks.
On to the last track, or did you have something to add?
No, you're good.
The last track is, on the standard edition at least, it's Last Chance featuring Natasha Bedingfield, the weirdest collab on this album.
Right.
Produced by Drew Money again.
I like the production. I kind of like how it starts, but like when the chorus hits, like her vocals kind of come in, and then she's like Natasha Bedingfield's doing vocals, and I think she's doing like also like a second set of vocals, and then there's like that extra guitar, and I don't know, it like the chorus is kind of messy to me.
Wow, I never viewed it like that. I liked it, and I liked the chorus. The chorus is kind of bland to me in general, but I didn't think there was anything bad with it.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? What I was trying. I think I was trying to say was, it almost sounds like something that Lil Wayne wanted her to have on this album because of the subtle rock elements.
Oh yeah, it did have a bit of that splashed in there. Although I viewed those quote unquote rock elements, they were more poppy to me than.
Yeah, they were like poppier guitars, but Lil Wayne doesn't know what rock is.
That's true. Remember when he tried to play on stage? That shit was a mess.
But yeah, I like her verses here though a lot. They're good.
Yeah, they're catchy. I think as a closing track, it was good on the standard version too because lyrically and the way it sounds, it just sounds like a celebration almost.
Yeah.
I gave this 9 out of 10 for me.
Oh, I gave it a 7.5.
I gave it pink, white, and light yellow.
I can see like the yellowish, but you're gonna be surprised. I actually kind of gave it a little bit of a subtle brown.
I don't see it.
I don't know, like sometimes like when I think with like guitar tones, I kind of a lot of the times I associate like the poppier guitar tones I kind of associate with like a lighter brown. I don't know why.
Oh, I see. You know what's funny? Yeah, I think that's why a lot of this album is pink for me because a lot of the synths and like the synths that it used sound very pink to me. Like certain colors, certain sounds are attached to them for me. And I don't know. I wonder if the yellow was because Natasha Bedingfield is blonde. But no,
it could be, yeah.
I was thinking more of like celebration and like brightness, and because it just sounds like a closing of an album.
Oh yeah, that's good. So on the standard version, which I actually think that's what I heard first, and I didn't hear like the deluxe stuff until later on. So as a whole, like my rating kind of averages out to 7.7. But I'm gonna give it an 8. I think it's a very memorable album to me.
Yeah, I think I averaged mine up until this point, and I got a 8.73. So should I just, I don't know, to round it to 8.5 or 9?
It's kind of. It's your rating.
I think I'm gonna give this a 9. There's a lot of stuff on this album that's not perfect at all, but it's very nostalgic for me, and
like check it out.
I don't know about that. I think that's the one track I skip, honestly. But I can listen to this album from front to finish other than check it out. And even though some parts that are cheesy and bad, I can laugh at them and I still know the lyrics to some of them. But I actually got the deluxe version, or one of the deluxe versions. This was so confusing back in the day because back then when people were still buying albums, you would have like a Target version that would have one bonus track and a Best Buy version that would have a different bonus track and an iTunes version, and they all had different bonus tracks, but I had one of the deluxe versions. So I didn't hear just the standard. I heard one of the deluxe versions on my first listen. So I've never associated the album as ending with Last Chance.
Oh, really? Yeah, I originally associated ending at Last Chance. And that's why I kind of, to me, it felt like a more complete album in that sense than it did with the deluxe, because a lot of the deluxe stuff to me is very bland and kind of average.
Oh my god, I'm gonna kill you. Well, let's move on to the deluxe edition then.
We've been talking for like an hour and a half to this point, so we should go through these a little quick.
Okay.
on this part, at least, except for Super Bass. You can go ahead with Super Bass.
All right, so Super Bass was produced by Kane Beats, and it was released on April 5th, 2011 as a 5th single, number 3 on the Hot 100, 8 on the year-end chart, and it went 8 times platinum.
Honestly, it blows my mind that this was not the first single, the lead single.
I think your Love had a little bit more elements still of rap. This is like pure pop with pop rap over. I don't know how to explain the rap, but it wasn't really rap, but it was rap.
Yeah, I mean her verses were basically rap, but everything else about the song was pop.
Yeah, it was a pop song for sure with just some elements of rap, and I think that's why it was so big. It crossed over so much into the pop world, more than anything else on this album. Yeah,
like I said, like earlier, how to me, I'll always remember Nicki with Moment for Life, but I think like as an artist and to probably the world, I think when she like, when it comes down to it, I think most people will remember her for Super Bass.
Yeah, Super Bass is probably one of her most memorable, iconic songs. Um, I don't know if you knew this, but Esther Dean, who's usually a songwriter for pop artists and
Yeah.
a background vocalist, she does the hook for this, but she didn't really get a feature credit.
Really? I did not know
Yeah.
she was on there.
Yeah, I think Nicki kind of harmonizes with her, but I think the main vocal, like the lead vocal, is Esther Dean, and I don't know why they removed her. I think maybe Esther Dean doesn't want to be like a real singer though, like a mainstream singer.
Yeah,
I
because
think
I know I've heard her name a lot, like in features and stuff with like, especially this era of like hip hop.
Yeah, but
pop.
I don't know. I think everyone knows Super Bass. I gave this a 10 out of 10.
I also gave it a 10. It's and as poppy as it is, and I don't. A lot of the times, like the cornier, cheesy stuff doesn't hit me as much, but this song is just, it's too infectious. It's a good song. I mean, there's not really much to say about it. Everybody knows Super Bass.
Yeah. Oh, side story. Not to make this any longer, but it's okay. It's a 10th anniversary of Pink Friday. We're celebrating it. This song got me to win tickets to Adele one time because
I forgot about that story. You go ahead, tell the story.
oh my god. So my friend from work and I went to the Adele concert without tickets. We were just like, hey, fuck it, maybe we'll win tickets. It was really hard to get the tickets to her 25 album tour. And we just went, and there was a lot of radio stations there with their tents, and we were entering all these contests, and one of them was a karaoke contest. And I'm like, I have no fucking shame. Let me just do it. And I entered, and I had no idea what song to do. I'm like, should I do an Adele song since it's a thing? And they're like, unless you can sing like Adele, I don't recommend it. Like, they were really cool. They were funny.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're right, I can't sing for shit. So I'm like, I have to do something. I'm like, maybe something with Britney Spears because I know the choreography to some shit. Maybe I can do like Slave for You. And I'm like, no, but that's such a hard song to sing. I'm like, what would be like, what would wow people? And I finally thought, someone said it to me. I think my friend probably said it to me, and she's like, what about Super Bass? I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, that's like, everyone knows that track, and it's more of a rap, so I don't have to sing. And I went all out. If anyone wants to hear me rap Super Bass, that video coming soon. I'm just kidding. But no, like, yeah,
You sound like that one guy,
song.
like the spazzy, like skinny dude that sings Super
Oh my
Bass.
god, yeah. This one's for the boys with the boomer system, top down, I see with the cola system. That guy. No, I didn't do it that silly. I was like into it. I was doing it like if it was my track, and I was like into it, and I was rapping it. And everyone just stopped and like turned around because they just hear this random ass dude rapping Super Bass over some loud ass speakers in this contest, and like everyone that was going to the concert just kind of turned around and like was staring at me, but it hyped me up even more. I was into it. I'm like, damn, I should have been a rapper.
Man, do you have a recording of this or pictures?
No, I didn't think about it because I really wish I did. It was so much fun to do that shit because you know me, it's weird. I'm shy and I don't like social interactions, but when I get in my element like that, I fucking love the attention. And
like,
I wish I had
like when you
recorded.
did the Britney Spears choreography on New Year's Day.
Oh
A
yeah,
couple
I
years
did.
back.
That's my signature thing. If I'm at a party and it's crowded and Britney Spears' "Slave for You" comes on, I'll do the breakdown. Like everyone knows that choreography. But anyway, on to the next track. "Blow Your Mind," produced by Blackout. He actually did "This Is Why I'm Hot" by Mims. He's produced for Ja Rule.
Actually, I
and
bought
Jim
that
Jones.
Mims album, and Blackout basically produced like the whole thing.
Is the production good?
Actually, yeah. So production on the album is pretty decent.
Well, this song, it could have used a better hook. I don't like the guy randomly saying "blow your mind." I don't know if it samples anything. I couldn't find any info on that. The verses, I like them. It was more like deep voice Nicki rap, and I always love that Nicki.
Yeah. I like the song a lot, actually. Well, okay, so I
Uh-oh.
would like the song a lot. I think the production is really well made. Except for the post-chorus, like that production on the post-chorus, and then, as you mentioned, his name, Safari.
Is that
Right.
Safari on this track?
Yeah, because for the longest time I didn't know what the hell he was saying, like when he's yelling somebody. So
Yeah.
I looked it up actually today, and I'm like, what is he saying there? I've listened to this like for like 10 years and I never really looked it up. And he's just yelling somebody.
Yeah. I could always make it out, but I think the instrumental bumps though. It's like such a. I think it's. I don't know. I can kind of see if this was the direction the album had gone in. Massive Attack could have fit. It would have still been bad, but this is kind of like what Massive Attack was trying to be.
Yeah, like I don't know. I really like the chorus as well. Like I don't know. I'm not sure how to describe it, to be honest, but it's so vibey, and I actually really like her verses here as well. But that somebody part on the post chorus just kills the song, like the flow of the song for me. I would have given the song an 8.5, but because of somebody and the post chorus part, I'm giving it a 7.
Well, I give it a 9.5 out of 10. One of the standout parts of it to me was the bridge when she's like, "What the fuck I look like? I'm a bad motherfucker." Like, I don't know. I thought it was so arrogant, and I love it.
Yeah, no, I don't know. The chorus to me is like my favorite part of the song. It's a very playful song. I don't know. But
it's very lavender and dark pink for me.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the color stuff. Blow your mind. I don't know if I thought about this one. Honestly, I think if I'm thinking back at it, it's kind of a yellowish to me.
I forgot to say Super Bass was like hot pink and pink for me.
Yeah, Super Bass is like hot pink, purple. Money, produced by Pop and Oak. I don't know. I think this song's mediocre. Like her verses aren't bad. Like they flow super well with like the production.
Yeah.
And the production's even pretty well made, but it's nothing like that amazing. And the chorus is just stupid as fuck. I hate it.
The chorus is dumb. I wish it was better, but I love her verses. And another track where I feel like this is kind of what Massive Attack was trying to be, because the production is kind of, I would describe it as avant-garde hip-hop, because it doesn't sound pop, but it sounds hip-hop, but it sounds strange. Like,
make it hip-hop, but make it strange. Hip-hop, but make it strange.
But then make it like, yeah, it sounds very like that, if that makes sense. And it's a silly song about, and like she's showing off about money, but she's doing it in a silly way compared to nowadays Nicki. She's just like, I got money, fuck you. And like, this was funny.
Yeah, she's like, I got money.
Yeah, she was bragging, but it was like playful. She wasn't being a snob that much about it. One of my favorite parts is right before or after the chorus. I don't know where it is, but she's just talking, and it's kind of like over a filter, and she's like, "Hey, yo, Captain, I don't want to hear that navigation. I'm trying to get some sleep. You dig?" Like that shit's funny to me.
Yeah, no. That. I think the first time I heard that made me laugh too.
Yeah, I love that. That's my favorite part of that song. I gave it a 9.5 out of 10.
Wow, I give it a 7.
What? This is one of my favorites from like the album.
The chorus is just so stupid to me that like even if it's meant to be like playful and stupid, I can't get into it.
I love it. I gave this like pink and white vibes for me.
Yeah, pink and white as well.
On to Wave Your Hand.
Wave Your Hand.
This was produced by Swiss Beats again. My bad.
No, you're good. Oh shit! Did you hear my stomach?
No.
I'm doing like this almost like intermittent fasting thing where I don't eat till like 11, which is right now it's feeding time. Yeah, Wave Your Hand with Swiss Beats. So it actually, I don't know if you've ever heard Swing. Oh, I'm sure you've heard Swing Your Rag by T.I.
Yeah.
Remember that track?
Oops, I don't know. It reminds me of. You heard that? Hold on, pause. I don't know if you heard that. My nose ring just accidentally hit the mic.
Oh really? No, I didn't hear it. I didn't catch it.
Sorry.
Yeah, it reminds me of Swing Your Rag by T.I. kind of. And it kind of makes sense because it's produced by Swiss Beats. But even like the Wave Your Hand, like Swing Your Rag, Wave Your Hand.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Maybe that's why it's in the deluxe and not the official. But it doesn't fit the theme of as well as like the first group of 13 songs.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. But I know the production's different than Mooney, but the way that Mooney ends and the way this song starts, it almost sounds like they're one track. I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks
really?
That. Yeah, it's weird. But I like this. I can see why it didn't make the standard edition of the album. It felt a little bit more filler. She kind of raps in that Roman like spaz voice, but not really. I love when she used to do that. I miss Roman. when I do that, you should put a picture of Nicki doing the face.
All right, I'll edit that in.
All right,
but the chorus is kind of dumb. I don't know, and the production is okay, but it's like it's not Swiss's best production.
No, yeah, I can hear the Swiss beats sound though,
Yeah.
but it's not the best. I gave this an 8 out of 10.
Ow, fuck my life. I just hit myself. I gave it a 7.
I gave this another lavender and pink. The deluxe bonus tracks are very lavender and pink for me.
This one's a little bit more like closer to white to me, like pinkish white, and then it has like a slight wave of like a light green.
You and your greens. I don't know where these greens are coming from for this album.
I think hip hoppy sounds to me, I associate kind of with the color green a little bit.
I don't, unless it's like know. Got Money by Lil Wayne. But that's
really?
It's money. Yeah, but that's because it's money.
To me, Got Money sounds a little more blue.
It sounds both for me, like green and blue. But anyway, that's the Carter 3 video coming soon.
Oh, dude, I could talk for like 3 hours about Carter 3. Wait, did we give it a rating? No,
I gave it an 8. I don't know what you gave it.
I gave it a 7.
Oh, I think we did say. Okay. On to the next?
Yeah. On to the next. Also Swiss Beats production. So it's Catch Me, and this is also a Swiss Beats production. When I first said that, I meant like on to the next one was a Swiss Beats production, but then this is also a Swiss Beats production.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. I honestly don't think that he did that great of a production job here as well. Like, it's kind of borderline mediocre to me as far as Swiss Beats production goes. I don't know. I think I kind of like. I don't think this is true, but like to me, I feel like she almost wanted, like, because it's a Swiss Beats production, like she had to include it somehow because he's like a big name at this time. And I don't know, like it almost sounds like she didn't know what to do with the song on that production, if that makes sense.
I love the track. I think complete opposite. I think it's cohesive, and
really,
yeah, like, you know what? Maybe it's also being a band kid. Not to be a snob, but like during the chorus, like the drums, they go off beat for like a few measures when it starts,
that's
and then
what
Nicki's.
I was referring to. Yeah.
I love that. It's like so. I don't know. It's unique. I think. I don't know how to explain it. I think. Do you know how to read music so I can show you? No.
A little bit. I used to play guitar.
I have to show you. I think maybe that's why I like it, because like the way that it would be written out compared to Nicki singing her lives, it's like a puzzle.
Yeah,
and they just fit on the off beats instead of being on beat. But I guess
you guys
if you're
can
not
see that he's doing
to,
something with his hands, merging his hands.
Yeah, but no, I like if you're not used to being a musician, and I'm not good. I'm not trying to be a music snob or anything, but if you're not used to playing and composing music and understanding about the offbeats, I can see how, like, listening to it, you'd be like, this sounds messy, like it's off beat.
Yeah,
kind of.
I don't know. And like I figured it was kind of intentional almost, but like I don't know, in a way, like I guess maybe because I don't have as much experience with like the way music is written out. I took like a year or two of guitar and we read music, but that's as far as my music reading knowledge goes. But like if somebody, like for the general audience that don't necessarily have that knowledge, it almost sounds like she doesn't know what to do in the song, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get your perspective,
because it's a little messy.
But
like either way, but I still actually kind of like the song. Like I actually will still listen to it if I'm listening to the album.
The verses are kind of relatable because she talks about, kind of similar to Save Me, where she's saying, catch me, I think I'm gonna fall for you, but she alludes to something about taking the dude away from some chick or something like that. And I don't know, at that time, not that time, like a year after this song or a year or two, I was like with this one guy, and he was into
Wait, you're
like
gay?
chicks. Yeah. And then- if you haven't figured it out yet, but yeah, like I took him from a chick and then he dumped me for a chick. So I was clearly just a phase, and I used to get emo to this song.
Wait. You took him from a girl? I didn't know that part.
Yeah, he only dated girls up until that point, and I was like the one and only guy. So I guess I should feel special in retrospect. But it was like my first heartbreak, so I didn't know what the fuck to do. And I used to like get sad to this song.
Yeah, I remember you talking about him when we used to watch wrestling pay-per-views.
Yeah.
It was like some of the times where we mostly hung out back in the day to watch.
Oh,
wrestling
WWE
pay-per-views.
episode coming soon.
Oh, that'd be a good topic. Bring
But-
Aaron into that one.
Yeah, but this track was a 10 out of 10 for me, and I gave it Lavender.
It's a 7.5 to me, and I think I'm gonna go back to the green tealish vibe.
No, Lavender and Gray for me, maybe because it's like kind of moody and a little bit dark, but I don't know. It's more of a rap track than a pop track for this one, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's why I hear the green more, because it's more hip hop.
And on
It's
to
the
the
last
last track, Girls Fall Like Dominoes, and it was another JR Rodham production. This was actually released April 2011 as the album 7 single, but only in Japan, New Zealand, and the UK. And it did peak at 24 on the UK charts, sampling Dominoes by the Big Pink.
Is it because they're Big Pink is like a UK artist, right?
I think so, yeah.
Because I could kind of hear it in the voice. I don't know that Domino song, but I'm assuming. But I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. That the sample is kind of weird, but it also kind of works, I guess.
Yeah, I like the production, and I think the sample fits the production really well.
Yeah. I do wish Nicki had sang on the chorus instead of it just being a sample, but it works. It gives me like almost production-wise, it reminds me of Last Chance for some reason, even though they're completely different, but just kind of sounds like a celebration type instrumental and more rap influenced.
Yeah, I can kind of see that a little bit. Her verses are really good. I like the sample, but I don't really. It's weird. I don't remember listening to the song that much, even though like looking back at it, it is a good song. I don't know why I didn't listen to it more.
It took a while for it to grow on me. I think the sample used to throw me off, but like just Nicki's actual verses and her singing during the bridge, they really made up for it for me. That second verse where she's singing about Madonna and many other females like Kardashians,
I like that.
Beyonce, Ciara. I know, it was so cool the way she did it.
Like I think she's talking about how if she's like in different like cities or something, she's singing out with like a certain female artist. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
If you need a bad bitch, Angelina Jolie. I was hoping you would finish it for me, but you didn't.
No, I don't know the lyrics that well.
No,
On this one.
He's a fake fan. Well, this track, I don't know. It's another. I think this is the only other track besides Super Bass that did good at blending the pop and the rap for me. I can see the other tracks. They were leaning a little bit more towards the rap side than the pop side, and I can see maybe that's why they didn't get included. I don't know why this didn't get included though. I think it was great.
Yeah, I feel like this one would have fit really well on the standard version of the album.
Yeah, I think it's a good closer too. It just sounds like a celebration, like not lyrically but just sonically.
I still think it's annoying that Super Bass isn't in the main album, but I know that it's because they were trying to sell the deluxe. It just annoys me though.
Well, I feel like if you take a look at just the tracks on the standard version, they have a very distinct sound where they're more mellow. There's not that much upbeat to the main album, and it's a little bit more emotional, whether that's angry or cheesy or happy or sad. And Super Bass is just like bubblegum pop. I don't think it fit the vibe of the standard edition, so I can see why it wasn't included.
I can kind of see it almost fitting like after Did It On Them, right before Right Through Me. Like, I don't know. I feel like if you put it there, it doesn't sound as bad because you're still kind of, because Roman's Revenge, Did It On Them is like hip hop, and you're still kind of a little bit more upbeat. And then from Super Bass, you kind of go into, if you go into like Right Through Me, then it goes from bubblegummy pop to like kind of more poppy, and then
You know what?
then
It could have replaced
taking
Check It Out, because Check It Out was also like, it did not fit the vibe of the album for me.
Oh, that's right, huh?
Aside, and that's separate from me liking it or not liking it. It felt off from the vibe and what the album was about.
Yeah, I don't know, but that kind of wraps up the album, because the other two deluxe tracks are Bedrock and Roman's Revenge.
Roman's Revenge featuring Lil Wayne remix. But this album, I don't know if we gave it a rating. It's a 9.5 out of 10 for me.
Well, as far as like the deluxe stuff, when I added those points to the main one, and I still got the same exact score of 7.73.
No, but Girls Fall Like Dominoes, you didn't give your rating.
Oh, I give it an 8.
Oh, okay. Not bad. 9.5 for me, and I gave it pink and white for its colors.
To me, it's like a pinkish with like a slight hint of yellow.
I can see that. Yeah, maybe some baby blue, because I picture her flying in the sky.
to go to London.
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean?
I don't know what I'm talking about. Just ignore that statement.
Oh my god, do you mean because of the sample?
Yes.
I was talking about.
I'm thinking UK for some reason, and I'm like, wait, to fly where?
I'm thinking more of like all these females. She's like, if you catch me over there,
visiting,
catch me with so and so.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean now, but for some reason, for a
God.
second, I was still thinking UK in my mind.
There's even when I add the bonus tracks to the rating of the album and average it again, I actually get a 9.41 out of 10. So the deluxe version, the bonus tracks are some of my favorites, but I can see they don't fit the vibe of the album and the theme that it had of being more emotional, and some of these were just more catchy type raps or more rap influence compared to the majority of the tracks blending the genres and the main album.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I guess maybe because I didn't hear the deluxe until a little bit later, that I don't know. These tracks didn't really grow on me too much.
I'm so dumb. I'm sorry. It's just the bonus tracks. I gave it a 9.41 out of 10, but the actual total was 8.94. So give it a 9 out of 10 if you do the deluxe version of the album, and do what did we say for that? We'll go 8.5 for the standard edition.
Okay. Yeah. To me, it's high 7, like a 7 point, almost 8.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep it as a nice 8.
I'm gonna keep it as 8.5 standard, 9 out of 10 for the deluxe. And we didn't include Bedrock in the rating because we thought that's unfair, because it wasn't really a Nicki track. It was just she was part of Young Money, the group, for that track. But yeah, this is a long episode, but
yeah, we're probably gonna cut some stuff out.
Yeah,
mostly us laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've been talking for almost 2 hours.
Well, I don't think that's bad, because we should be celebrating Nicki Minaj's debut album, Pink Friday. Thank you for listening. We'll cut the outro short so we don't take up even more time. But we're now on Apple and Spotify, and YouTube. So give us a like and follow and subscribe on all of those. Thank you.
And SoundCloud. Next. And follow us on Twitter, Instagram. I think we have a TikTok, but we haven't posted as of right now, as of this recording. So maybe
we can post something with Nicki now.
Yeah, we'll see what we do.
All right.
Thank you guys. Let's not take up more time. Thank you.
All right.